Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going on a bit of a journey, a really suspenseful descent into what is absolutely, without a doubt, the greatest mystery we have left on Earth. For just a moment, forget about the stars. We are heading straight down into the freezing, crushing, and just utterly fascinating depths of our own planet. So get ready, because what actually lies beneath the surface is way more alien than anything you could possibly imagine.
Okay, let's dive into this. It is absolutely mind-boggling when you think about it. Humanity has peered an astonishing 93 billion light-years out into the depths of space. Yet when we look down at the oceans, which, remember, cover the vast majority of our planet, we've explored a mere 5%. I mean, why is it that we know more about the dusty, barren surface of Mars than we do about the bottom of our own oceans? What exactly is keeping us out? Well, to find out, we have to start descending.
Part 1. The Shallow Ocean World. Let's look at the first 500 meters. To truly grasp the extreme depths we're talking about today, we need some familiar spatial anchors. For normal scuba divers, 40 meters is pretty much the absolute limit, though yeah, a few wild record breakers have pushed past 330 meters. But think about this. If you were to drop the Empire State Building straight into the ocean, its very tip would vanish at 443 meters. Keep going down to 830 meters, and the massive Burj Khalifa is completely submerged. And at 8,848 meters, you could sink the entire bulk of Mount Everest. That is exactly how deep the abstract numbers we are about to explore really are.
As we hit that 500-meter mark, the water pressure becomes immensely powerful. This is actually the crushing limit for the colossal blue whale, an animal that weighs an unbelievable 150,000 kilograms. The pressure down here is so intense that even the highly advanced American Seawolf-class submarine cannot safely go below this 500-meter threshold. Yet, amazingly, nature just finds a way. The emperor penguin can actually dive past this, reaching 535 meters on a single breath that lasts up to 20 minutes, because its bones are specially adapted to withstand that incredible crush.
Part 2. The mysterious depths. Fading into absolute darkness. As we leave the surface world completely behind us, the light fades out really rapidly. We've now arrived at the 1,000-meter mark. And at this exact depth, sunlight completely ceases to exist. There is no day or night here anymore. From here on out, it is just a world of eternal, pitch-black darkness.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how evolution gets just downright weird without sunlight, in a place scientists unofficially call the scary zone. Down here, you'll find the incredibly elusive giant squids. Drop just a little further to 1,280 meters, and you're going to encounter massive leatherback turtles weighing up to 700 kilograms. And at 2,000 meters, you meet the black dragonfish, a creature that honestly looks exactly like a real-life alien and has developed the crazy ability to see perfectly in this absolute darkness.
But that darkness hides a truly brutal battlefield. At 2,250 meters, we find the prime hunting grounds of the sperm whale, a giant weighing as much as 2 heavy road rollers. But its mortal enemy shares these exact same waters, the colossal squid. These squids grow up to 14 meters long, weigh 750 kilograms, and have eyes the size of literal dinner plates, completely equipped with razor-sharp teeth on their tentacles. They engage in these epic, ongoing, mortal battles in the deep. In fact, when dead sperm whales wash ashore, their bodies are so often covered in violent, massive circular scars, which are the direct results of terrifying clashes with these giant squids.
Part 3. The Abyssal Zone, the final resting place of the Titanic.
As we descend past 3,800 meters into near-freezing waters, we find the haunting wreckage of the RMS Titanic. But the history doesn't stop there. Right at 4,000 meters, we cross a major geographical threshold, and just below that, at 4,781 meters, lies a remarkably preserved World War II battleship, totally swallowed by the deep.
This whole area is known as the Abyssal Zone. Because there is absolutely zero sunlight, the organisms living here have had to become their own light sources. This is called bioluminescence. Creatures like the downright terrifying anglerfish use glowing lures, basically like natural headlamps, to navigate and attract prey. Nature's brilliant way of fighting the darkness even includes creatures producing infrared light, which is totally invisible to their prey, allowing them to hunt totally undetected in the pitch black.
Part 4. The Haddle Zone. Prepare for some crushing pressures. Okay, take a deep breath. We are crossing 10,916 meters. That is the equivalent of a commercial airplane's cruising altitude, but straight down. The pressure here is almost incomprehensible. Just imagine the entire weight of a jumbo jet resting on a single human being. It was under this intense pressure back in 1960 that Jacques Piccard made history by actually diving to this depth. Through the tiny window of his submersible, illuminated only by its artificial lights, he saw a massive, unidentified creature tracking his submarine. And then suddenly the immense pressure caused a violent crack in the submersible's window, forcing an immediate, terrifying retreat back to the surface.
Let's move to and see how this builds. At 11,000 meters, we finally hit the Marianas Trench, specifically the deepest known point of our oceans, called Challenger Deep. We have actually sent uncrewed underwater test vehicles down here. During one particular expedition, a test vehicle at 11 kilometers deep was suddenly grabbed by something unimaginably powerful. The crewed topside literally couldn't pull it free. When the beast finally let go and the vehicle was retrieved, researchers were absolutely stunned. The massive bite marks scored deep into the metal perfectly matched the jaw and teeth of the megalodon, a monstrous prehistoric shark long thought to be totally extinct. Could it still be down there?
Adding to the sheer scientific awe of these depths, the ocean floor isn't just cold and dark. There are actually active, lava-spewing volcanoes right at the bottom of the ocean. The water around these thermal vents is quite literally boiling. Yet inexplicably, researchers have observed sharks happily swimming right next to these active deep-sea volcanoes. How biological life manages to survive, let alone thrive, in boiling, toxic volcanic water at crushing pressures remains a profound, unsolved scientific mystery.
Part 5. Submarine Rivers. Yes, rivers flowing right beneath the sea. Let's pivot from biology to some truly bizarre geology. Just ask yourself, how is it physically possible for a river to flow underneath the ocean? It sounds like a total paradox, yet submarine rivers are completely real. Off the coast of Mexico lies the Cenote Angelita, which is a distinct salty river flowing 115 feet beneath the surface. Underneath the Black Sea, scientists found an underwater river flowing at 6 kilometers per hour. If that thing were on land, it would be the 6th largest river in the entire world. And the Gulf Stream is essentially just a massive river running through the ocean, so incredibly large that its currents are visible from space satellites. And remember, all of this sits right above the Earth's crust, which is 5 to 10 kilometers thick here, naturally hiding millions of years of decomposed sea life that has turned into vast natural oil reserves over time.
And this brilliantly illustrates a great question. How do these impossible-sounding underwater rivers actually form? Well, it comes down to 3 mechanics. First, the continuous rotation of the Earth creates motion. Second, massive variations in water density, meaning some water is much saltier and heavier than the water around it. And third, extreme temperature differences created by how sunlight unevenly heats the upper ocean. Together, these 3 forces literally separate the water into distinct flowing layers.
Part 6. The unsolved 95%. What remains hidden in the dark. So the crucial point is, when we zoom out and look at the terrifying, wildly exciting, big picture, everything we just discussed, the colossal squids, the crushed submarines, the underwater rivers, the megalodon bite marks, all of that incredible reality exists within a mere 5% sliver of our oceans. 95% remains a total dark blank on our map.
Scientists can only theorize what might be hiding out there in that unexplored 95%. We're talking about entirely new species, things like giant tube worms and vampire squids that we have barely even documented. There are untold reserves of undiscovered oil and vital mineral resources down there that could completely redefine the global economy. And perhaps most excitingly, the ocean floor might be hiding actual evidence of ancient, lost civilizations that were swallowed by rising seas long before recorded history.
It leaves us with the ultimate mystery of our own planet. If all these wonders, monsters, and geological miracles live in just 5% of the water, I want to leave you with this question. What on earth is hidden in the remaining 95% of the ocean? The greatest discoveries of human history might not be up in the stars at all, but waiting for us right now in the dark, silent depths below. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep exploring, and I'll see you next time.